The Ball Poem by John Berryman. The Ball Poem is a poem on the first lesson of loss and responsibility that every person has to learn in his or her life. The ball poem centers around the loss of a ball and the effect it has on a boy. The poem is a psychological study of a man's reaction at some material loss. About the poet. John Berryman was an American poet scholar born in McAlester, Oklahoma. He was a major figure in the American poetry in the second half of the 20th century and was considered a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. His best known work is The Dream Song. Introduction to the lesson. The poet John Berryman, through his poem, The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrow of life. The Ball Poem is a very subtle and beautiful poem about a little boy's growing up. The poet sees this little boy one day when he has just lost his ball. The loss of his ball is teaching him that in life we often lose things and they cannot be easily replaced. Such lessons are a part of growing up, and everyone has to learn them at some point in time or the other. However, it is painful for the poet to watch the boy in his sad state. He is sure that the ball as well as the person who whistles by the boy feels the same way as he does. Now let us go to the poem in detail. The Ball Poem. What is the boy now who has lost the ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there. It is in the water. Here, the speaker in the poem has been observing the boy play with his ball and lose it. He is the one who informs the reader of this event. He saw the ball bounce down the street and go into the water and expresses concern over what the boy will do now that he has lost the ball. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. Now here we can see that the boy has already lost his ball when the poem begins. It has rolled away from him and fallen into the river. Here he says, no use to say, there are other balls. The meaning of the phrase, oh, there are other balls, is it suggests that the loss is not important enough to worry about. Here the speaker says it is useless to console the boy by telling that there are other balls that he can have. He even says that he wouldn't disturb the boy at the moment. The speaker understands what the boy is experiencing. No use to say there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. So what did the boy do? The boy was affected by grief. The boy is affected to this degree because it is the first time he is experiencing responsibility for the loss in the world of material possessions. It is a profound moment he is going through on his own. He is shaking with grief over the loss. He is standing at the harbor or the coast, seeing his beloved ball, floating in the water. He stands rigid and trembling with shock and sadness, staring into the water where the ball went. His attention is so fixed at the spot that it seemed like he is wasting all his childhood away with the effort. His ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball, is worthless. The poet says that if I spend a dime, it would be easy. Dime, what is dime? Dime is 10 cents, that is US currency. That is, if I spend 10 cents, it will be easily available. A new ball will be easily available. Huh? But it is worthless now in the world of possessions. Why? Because the new ball will be worthless because there are so many memories that are connected with the ball that he has lost. So that ball cannot be replaced with a new ball. So the speaker says that let him experience the loss. Let him understand a very important lesson in life. What is the important lesson that he is trying to impart in this chapter? That is the lesson of loss and responsibility. Lesson of loss and responsibility. In the world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. So this is the lesson he wanted to impart. He wanted the boy to learn that at times, since it is life, you will have to experience many losses. Or not always you will be gaining things. Sometimes you will have to lose something that is very close to your heart. And you will have to adjust with it and you will have to go on. And no one buys a ball back. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He says that no one could buy the ball back. The lost ball is lost. He cannot get it back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss. What is the meaning of epistemology? Epistemology means understanding. Epistemology means understanding the nature of loss. That is what it means to lose something. So he says that understanding the nature of loss, epistemology to lose, that is how to stand up. How to stand up. He says that money is of no help. Money is external. Money is of no help as it can give him another ball, but not the memories that is attached to the first ball that he had. He now knows what it's like to lose something precious. With this experience, that is the first lesson for him to put up with the situations, with the sad situations in life. Though he might not be fully aware yet that he will have to let go of more such things in future. Knowing what every man must one day know. What is that which every man must one day know? Every man must one day know that he will have to face such situations in life and he will have to overcome it one time or the other in his life. Knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. And gradually light returns to the street. A whistle blows. The ball is out of sight. He sees the boy. We can see that the boy, and here he says that, and most known many days how to stand up. The speaker says that he does not directly speak to the boy. He offers consolation through the poem that losses are all a part of life, and every person will have to be strong enough to stand up and move on. And gradually light turns to the light. A whistle blows, the ball is out of sight. And soon part of me will explore the deep and dark floor of the harbor. I am everywhere. I suffer and move. My mind and my heart move. With all that move me, underwater or whistling, I am not a little boy. Here the poet is trying to say that desperate as he is, he starts to come in terms with the knowledge of loss and how to take courage from the lesson and move on. Everybody must learn to accept losses which are bound to have over the course of our lives and stand back on our feet in spite of them. I suffer and move. My mind and heart move. With all that move me, underwater or whistling, I am not a boy. I am not a little boy. Children, I would like to tell you a very important thing. In your lesson, there is not the complete poetry. You will have the poetry up to here, how to stand up. So up to that we have to learn. So I'll explain what is told there in the last lines of the poem. Here, the sense of first responsibility. What is the responsibility referred to here? Responsibility referred to here is the realization of the fact that gains and losses are a part and parcel of life. We should accept them as common matter and not be unduly worried about them. So let me explain another line. And no one buys a ball back, money is external. What does the poet mean when he says that money is external? Here, this is the line, money is external. No one buys a back, money is external. When he says that money is external, the poet means that a thing once lost is lost forever. It can't be retrieved. It is futile to grieve over it. The only important thing is that we should have money to replace it. So this is how the explanation of the poem is. Now let us let me ask you a very important question. Do you think that the boy has lost anything earlier? Pick out the word that suggests the answer. No, the boy has not lost anything earlier. Which phrase shows you that? He senses first responsibility. He senses first responsibility. That line shows that the boy has not experienced any loss earlier. Next one is, what does the poet say that the boy is learning from the loss of the ball? The boy is learning to take responsibility for things he owns in the materialistic world. He is learning the meaning of loss and how to stand up and accept it as a part of his life. So, I hope you all have understood the poetry. Thank you very much.